Outside, the dango kind of started to melt instead. So we improvised by taking the grill rack upstairs and onto the stove so that the dango could be cooked directly over an open flame. This dango can also be grilled in a non-stick pan, but I'd love to know how we could have done the charcoal part better, so please leave a comment. But after 2 hours of perseverance from both Andrew and Jess, we're finally able to glaze our crispy dango. And the glaze had definitely cooled by then, so after warming it up on the stove for a little bit, I'm slowly spooning this honey-like substance over each skewer of dango. And this is the payoff. Watching that beautiful golden glaze just slowly melt over that smooth whiteness of the dumplings, it's amazing. I would actually make this and eat the whole thing on a day-to-day basis, which I'm gonna do right now. But we should probably try this with actual beef. So this is some flank steak. I'm cutting them into little thin strips to match the bell peppers. And I'm gonna warm up my hands over the wok because I get cold kind of easily. Same treatment as before though, a little bit of oil to get the pan smoking hot. In goes the beef, and this is an induction burner, so we're not gonna get massive amounts of heat, which is why there's water at the bottom of this pan. I think water is stir fry's #1 enemy, so I'm really just trying to shake things to get all that steam out and not overcook the beef. And we run it back. A little bit more oil, bell peppers in, cook it around until it gets a little bit of color, lightly brown, add some garlic, stir it up again, add the beef back in, everybody gets to know each other, add some sauce. Watch as a lot of sauce creates a lot of steam. Inhale all those great smells one more time, add a little bit of sugar for that extra flavor, and ta-da! This version of the beef and bell pepper stir fry is done. I've gone down quite a rabbit hole. Someone please get me out. This is a fish. This is me trying to figure out how large the eyeball should be. I'm gonna go to Google Images real quick, I'll be right back. So now, in a medium casserole dish, I'm spooning in the pumpkin and herring pie filling. I don't want the puff pastry to rise unevenly, so I'm trying to make sure that the filling is as smooth and as clean as possible. It's also pretty important that the pastry goes on a room temperature or cold filling so that it doesn't melt and change while it's in the oven. Using a little bit of egg wash not only helps me stick on the other strips of pastry, but it also helps promote a nice golden brown look once it comes out of the oven. And finally, I get to place on my fish. So I'm being very careful not to disturb the other pastry strips that I've tried to put on, using egg wash as the glue and reassembling this fish's face. Hey, not bad if I do say so myself for a first time. Some steam vents to allow the steam to escape, some olives in, there we have it. Into a hot 400-degree oven you go. After these rest a little bit more so the starch is set, I think it's time to dig in. Hey, that's a pretty cool cross section if I do say so myself. I personally like eating my mochi with tea, so I have a little bit of hot green tea here, and let's see how it tastes. I don't know if I've acquired that taste of the sweet edamame with the cream just yet, but it does pair very well with it. Here I am, piping little decorative shell shapes to the top of this cake as a decoration. Shout out to gaff tape. You're the best. And as the final touch to our strawberry shortcake, I'm placing as many of these beautiful strawberries on top of the cake as I physically can. I definitely didn't need to buy all those strawberries, but it's always good to have backup. After the final strawberry has been Tetrised in, we now present to you our version of the strawberry shortcake from Death Note. Not bad if I say so myself, but this needs to chill before we eat it. After the cake has set up in the fridge for about an hour or so, it's time to eat. But first, a little struggle as we transfer this cake, thank you Kendall, onto a more appropriate serving platter. The moment the knife penetrates the cake, you already can feel how soft and fluffy this cake is. When I cut cake for people, I cut big slices. And this is a big slice.